Let's roll. What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday, May the 25th. My God, it is summertime, and we have some stories to cover today. But first half, we're going to talk about the conference finals for the NBA playoffs, and in the second half, some of our traditional content. We've got to talk a little bit about some things that were said regarding we're going to talk baseball and we're going to talk football, and they're both semi-controversial stories going on in the world of sports right now. The Wire Sports Podcast, it starts right now.
Right now.
Let's go.
I'm going in, it's first and 10. I'm a legend boy, a champion. They can't match the flows, the X's and O's. I'm breaking the code, devastation about to unfold. They calling me Derek by the way I roll. Bet you never ever seen a pro this cold. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I mix with Iron Mike and the great Ali. I'm a run it back, believe me baby. I fathered the game, call me Daddy Brady. I'm like that, try be like this. Sammy Sosa, that boy don't miss. It's the return of the greatest. Any way you name it, I'm everybody's favorite. I'm bringing the pain and bringing the fire. Hey, stay tuned, it's going down to the wire.
Fellas, how are we doing? Welcome to the Wire, listeners. Guys, how you doing?
Good. Had a long day. Got a little drunk last night.
Oh boy. Those are the best shows. Hungover shows are the best shows.
Yeah, wifey's not feeling me right now.
Oh, jeez.
Not at all.
Well, before we get started, I do want to send out a big H2G, get well soon, to Richie. He is under the weather. We hope that he gets well very soon. If he chooses to talk about what's going on when he comes back, that's on him. Let's dive in to a little bit of sports. We're going to start off, guys, with the conference finals. Things are going. And it's for transparency's sake, we do have to say we do record on Mondays. We usually only have to talk about it like that during playoff season, just because Game 4 is right now happening between the Heat and the Celtics. But going in to our record today, the Heat are leading the Celtics 2-1, and Golden State is leading the Mavericks 3-0. Let's start with the Heat versus the Celtics. What do you guys make of what's going on in this conference finals matchup so far, and what do you think the Celtics need to do to come out on top, or the Heat need to do in order to maintain? Whoever wants to start.
I think I'll go ahead and start. I think that before I said that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown need to take that step in evolution in their game and become more playmakers than scorers. We all know that they're going to get 29 to 30 points a game, but we need to see them make others around them better. And that's what's going to push them past the Heat. The Heat play a brand of basketball that's tough on defense. I think when they have Marcus Smart in the game, he helps them facilitate and move better. And their defense seems to pick up when he's on the floor, clearly because he's the defensive player of the year. Along with Al Horford, he's the veteran and makes all the right passes. But if they're not going to make shots, then they're going to have to play really stiff defense. I don't think Miami has enough bodies to keep up with the Celtics. So I think it's going to be Celtics in 7.
All right, Celtics in 7. Sahe, what do you think of the Celtics Heat matchup so far, and what do either team need to do to get to the win?
Yeah, this series is like one of those, junkyard scraps, These are two teams that are feisty. They play, what's the old saying? They play to the whistle. Those kind of teams. They're not going to let you have anything, and they're matching up. And it's a great series so far. The games are back and forth. They're giving it their all. It's an exciting series to watch, Like I was saying before the series started, this is an NBA historic classic matchup. But I just feel like the Celtics, unfortunately, are just going a little bit too much for the Heat. I wanted to say Jimmy Butler was going to get those dogs barking and ready to bite down and take this series, but like Trey said, they really can't match up body for body. The Celtics just got too much out there. So it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. Can the Heat surprise us? We'll see. I like the Game 7. I feel like this one can either go 6 or 7, but I feel like the Celtics are going to take it out.
All right. And as we record, the Celtics do lead the Heat 36-18. They're in the second quarter with 9 minutes and 1 second left. For that will be useless knowledge to our listeners, but for my guys here on the panel, there you go. So on the other side of things, right now, Golden State is cleaning the floor. I don't mean to say that as in it's a big scoring differential, but it is 3-0 going into Game 4, which will happen Tuesday. So right before this airs, what do you guys make of the Warriors-Mavericks series so far? I'll start with Trey.
The Warriors are playing a very scary brand of basketball. They have all the confidence. I think it started with the first series that they had when they let Jordan Poole start and they had Steph coming off the bench. And you see how they move without the basketball. Kevin Looney they were saying that they're going to be too small to rebound. They've out-rebounded every team that they've been against, including the Memphis Grizzlies. They have Kevin Looney looking like a top 10 center in the league if they still had centers, honestly. I think one play that sticks out in my mind is I think Kevin Looney grabbed the rebound. They weren't really particularly hitting all their three-point shots, and Klay immediately cut to the basket. Kevin Looney hit him with a sweep dime to the rim for a layup. That's the brand of basketball that you're going to play, and that's going to be hard to defend because they're constantly moving. I don't think Dallas has. I think Luka can possibly win them one game, possibly, but the Warriors are back.
And Sahe, what do you make of this matchup, man? You switched sides, I think, if I remember correctly. Last week, you had the Mavericks back until they had this matchup. Are you happy you jumped ship?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think you can roll back the tape. I called this one Warriors in a sweep. The Mavs ain't got nothing for it. Nobody got anything for the Warriors right now. Now that LeBron ain't in the playoffs, Steph Curry ain't got nothing to worry about. And Andrew Wiggins, man, I threw his name out there a couple weeks ago. As in the perfect replacement for KD. And like the more I'm watching, the more he's looking like that. Like Andrew Wiggins has really found his stride and his stroke with the Warriors.
Yeah, it's like somebody called him and told him, yo, you made the All-Star team this year. Remember that?
Right. Yeah, man. The Warriors, Andrew Wiggins, they just got the easiest role because they're, like Trey said, they're playing a scary brand of basketball right now. And it's scary because you got the Splash Brothers still splashing. Like they are throwing balls into the Atlantic Ocean right now. Everything is wet. You know what I'm saying? And I talked about it last week. Like Draymond Green would be in Luka Doncic's head and like throwing him off. I think they're doing the opposite. They're shutting everybody else down and being like, "Hey, Luka, like you want to win the game, you're gonna have to do it all yourself." And he's trying. He's having great games, but it's just not enough. Not enough
right.
to beat that steam train coming from Golden State, Oakland.
I think it's Jordan Poole has been empowered to do him because Klay and Steph are unique where they can run off the screens. And honestly, Klay hasn't really went off yet. When Clay starts to hit his stride, it's going to be a problem. Andrew Wiggins is balling out, but they've empowered Poole to be him. He's very ball dominant. But when you have Steph and Clay can move off screens and run the way that they do, that opens up the floor for them. It's kind of like what KD kind of did for them. Because they used to try to get KD in the game, go a lot of ISO. That's what Poole does, and he's getting real good at it. He started off real hot, then he kind of got they started keying in on him, and he's starting to level out. So they don't need him to be a 29-point scorer. If he can stay in that 15 to 18 range with a couple of 20-pointers in there, they are going to be unstoppable. And if Kevon Looney is going to grab you 22 rebounds, then you're good. They all rebound. It's fun to see.
Absolutely. Well, either way, we will know more about the turnout of the conference finals next week on The Wire. Let's go ahead and move into our second half content. We might be a little bit shorter of a show today, but maybe not. These topics are kind of some big ones. We haven't had an opportunity. I mean, really, from football season into basketball season, we get a lot of just those sports, so we haven't had an opportunity to cover some of the other stories going on in sports. And guys, I want to bring up this story. Fair disclaimer, if you don't want to talk race, H2G Radio always invites you to turn us off for a little bit and come back when we're talking about something else. Just no hateful comments. That's all we care about. If you're going to comment on what we have to say, just please be respectful about it. That being said, guys, Josh Donaldson, he's the New York Yankees third baseman. He has now been fined and suspended from play for one game after he said, "What's up, Jackie?" to the star Chicago White Sox shortstop Tim Anderson during their matchup on Saturday. Tim Anderson stated, among other statements, that Donaldson made a comment and it was disrespectful. Like I said before, Donaldson is going to receive a one-game suspension, and it's an undisclosed fine at this time. Josh Donaldson's response to the reporters was that he believed that he was acting on an inside joke, and claimed that on several occasions Anderson had referred to himself as the next Jackie Robinson, that they themselves had joked about it before. But with all that being said, my first questions for you guys is, do you believe that this is in fact a situation where someone made a racist comment? And we've seen this in the NFL before. This is MLB, but with Mason Rudolph and Myles Garrett, that had a little bit more of a fallout live. Knowing or not knowing, let me go back to the beginning of the question because I threw myself off. Do you believe that this is in fact a situation where someone knowingly or not knowingly made a racist comment and deserves the penalty and or more? Or do you think that this is being highlighted by the fact that we are currently living in a time where the fight for civil justice is very relevant and ongoing? Do you think that that's kind of highlighting this more than it typically would? I know that's kind of a convoluted double parter there, so if you have any questions, let me know, but whoever wants to start.
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell somebody how to feel about comments that somebody says, I guess. But me, the thing that makes it non-egregious is he said he thought chiming in on the, you know what I'm saying, an inside joke. I mean, there's a reason why things are called inside jokes. Not everybody is supposed to be in on it. But I was just trying to say something funny, in my opinion. I'll get shit like this because I guess I don't take it serious enough. I don't think he should be suspended and fined. That's stupid in my opinion. Like he said, "What up, Jackie?" Like I think that's hilarious and funny. But I'm like I would consider myself a comic. So a lot of things that most people don't find funny, I find funny. Should he have not said it? Maybe. I just think it just takes the fun out of life when you take things like that super serious. Like he didn't say "Hey, Blackie." Like if he would have said that, if he would have replaced the J with a B, with a BL in there, then I would have been like, Like, this ain't 1955. There ain't no color sections out there. You know, so we moved on from that. But, you know, come on, just, you know, let it go. He can be funny. So, I mean, that makes it, you know, good enough for me. It's kind of the whole shit, Will Smith has slapped Chris Rock, you know? He was trying to make a joke, man. Relax, it ain't that serious, but that's my take. Not everybody's gonna feel the way I do.
And you're definitely entitled to it. This is open forum. And folks, we do want you to comment how you feel. Just our big thing is be respectful or we're going to take your comment away. Trey, what do you make of all this, man? Do you think that this was a racist move and you know, the MLB reacted accordingly or should have acted stronger? What do you think?
From what I read, like I said, I just read up on it when you brought it up to me. I didn't really know about this, but from what I read, I think we live in an age where they feel like they have to react if someone says, as soon as someone says racism, they feel like they have to react. I personally don't think that the comment was racist at all. He said, "What up, Jackie?" And he was making, if I was reading correctly, he made it in reference to article. He did an interview with ESPN, I want to say, where he proclaimed himself as the new age Jackie Robinson. That he was changing that they would have to change that he's on the verge of changing the game. I wouldn't say that's what the quote was.
Yeah.
So when Donaldson came through, he said, "What up, Jackie?" He's doing some trash talking. I mean, I think there's a complete overreaction. Now, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there was something else said. Maybe there was a prior situation going on. But from what I can tell, I think everyone's being a little bit sensitive about the situation. All he did was say, "What up, Jackie?" If anything, it would be more of a compliment. Then I think that we're being a little bit too sensitive. If we can't talk trash to each other, that's what you do in sports. What can we say? Give me a list. Clearly, we don't want to be foul. We want to be negative. We don't want to be, disrespectful or anything like that. But it was a tight game. I mean, they ran into each other before. It's going to get contentious. If that was the case, did y'all see what Draymond Green said last night? When he was calling Luka a pussy? Like, I would find that more inflammatory than anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but since it's a white guy saying it to a black dude in reference to a legend, oh, that's racist. I think it was like, that's a bit much.
Now, this is a dangerous thing where I go off the cuff, but I am going to go off the cuff a little bit. That being said, both of you guys' takes, and thank you for sharing. Do you think that the overreaction that the media gives, and this could go outside of sports, we're going to stay in sports because that's what we do here, but do you think this sort of overreaction, would you say that this deters from true civil rights justice, moving in situations where there are racist, systemic racist issues or, bypassing actual racist issues just by highlighting something like this that was a comment between two players?
Great question. Yes.
Yeah, I think stuff like that, it doesn't deter or make it bad. I think it just keeps that conversation going. And I feel like the best way to really end is just to move past it. But when people are claiming it over silly stuff like this, it just brings the conversation back up, and we're talking about this once again. And people are going to get enraged by it. You know what I'm saying? There's people that just see stories and see stuff and don't really think about it. And they're just like, oh my God, blah, 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 racist, MLB. You know what I'm saying? So it's just going to stir the pot more. It's just dividing, it's one of those topics though, because people are going to feel a certain way, and if you don't feel the same way they do, you're an idiot.
I'm a little bit different in this. I think it takes away because the message itself gets dull, right? So if you continue to talk about a certain thing, it tends to lose its luster. I think you should save these conversations for real situations. If we're talking about someone trash talking, and he just so happened to use Jackie Robinson, so is this a real conversation? No. To me, no. The conversation, the Myles Garrett situation with what's that quarterback's name? The Myles Garrett situation.
Mason Rudolph.
That was Mason Rudolph. That was more of a conversation because of the language that was used. That brings it to light in a positive way, so we could tackle and so we can tackle the disrespect when it comes to cultural divide. But we're talking about someone talking trash in sports, and I think that gives a doorway for them to say, or for people who don't agree with the stance to say, see, every time somebody says something, you guys take it personally. You're so sensitive, and that's the conversation that comes up when a lot of these things happen. It's hard to get. I'm not gonna single them out, but it's hard to get white people on our side for our cause if they feel like we're being sensitive about everything. I think, and I hope that came out right. It's hard to, I hope that came out right, because if you're going to go on every little thing and claim it as disrespect when it's not, then that's, then that's not helping us in any way for the real issue. And we're talking about bringing people together.
I appreciate you guys sharing. The reason I wanted to bring this story is because, and I'm a moderator, so I don't often give my view on things, but that is my view. I will chime in on this one a little bit, is that big media, just like big farm and big politics, have a tendency to, like Sahe said, drive the divide, because that's where they make money. If they've got two sides, they can always make money. And situations like this, and to use Sahe's reference and go into what you said, Trey, like if people are seeing this as the black community coming up and saying once again, oh, this is racist. Not everybody is on one side or the other, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And if you look at the Oscars, they had a black host, they had a lot of black superstars right up front. This is conspiracy. Maybe this belongs on Free Mess, but I think the media, at least I don't think it was staged, but I think the media takes advantage of situations like this to see now look what happens to one side. Now look what happens when this happens. And that's not the case. We need to all be seeing one equal playing field. And that's something that we are probably a long road ahead, but I agree. I was unbiased for the reading of the story, but I just thought that this seemed like a little bit altercated for an additional conversation, possibly to add a divide into the sports because the NBA is ending or whatever. I'm not sure.
That was going to be my other point. I think that the sports news was slow.
Yeah.
And they needed something to pick up ratings, so everyone picked this up. And that disgusts me, because it's a real issue, and there are people out there that have really crossed that line, and we haven't really talked about them the way that they talked about this today. And it's sad.
And I also hope I dictated with these. I'm always hoping I say things the right way. So, folks, we do want to know what you think. It is a very serious topic, more serious than we usually get here on The Wire. When we come back, we have a little bit less of a serious discussion, but it is quite controversial, and it involves some names that you you definitely know if you know anything about football. Let us know in the comment section what you think about this whole Josh Donaldson and Tim Anderson. Let us know. Did I get that right? Yeah. and let us know what you think about the NBA playoffs and where those are going. While you're watching this little commercial break from Free Mess on Fridays, go and follow us, man. Go and follow us. We are just a few weeks out from our website launching, where you will have one hub to check out all of the shows, and we are rapidly growing. So if you want to get involved, hit us up, justthosebestlive@gmail.com. That'll be changed with the website launch. So that email for now. And then after that, stop emailing me, because I get those on my phone. So come on, guys. We'll see you in a few minutes. You're watching and listening to The Wire. We'll be right back.
Let's move it along. What's been going on this week, man? What's going on? That USFL, you catch that? Something crazy happening that.
Yeah, I saw it.
My man there was a player for some team. He was cut for choosing trying to get a slice of pizza over eating a team issued chicken salad.
Now, was it chicken salad with the grapes and the raisins in it? Because if it was, I don't blame him, because that shit's nasty.
Exactly. Like, who
the fuck put raisins and grapes in chicken salad? Nasty. But yeah, if it was that kind, I don't blame him. But I mean, it's not like he told the dude disrespectfully that he wasn't gonna eat it. He just said, like, nah, I don't want this. Is there any way I can have a piece of pizza that somebody had already brought? So I mean, I don't see how that's disrespectful. I just think he was just going with what he wanted to do. I mean, it's pizza, man. I'm sure there are far worse things that people have done to get cut off the team. Even if it was pineapple pizza, which people should be put in jail for. I hate pineapple pizza. It's nasty.
Exactly, man. Pineapple on pizza.
Who wants cold stuff on hot stuff? It ain't even the sweet and the whatever flavor of the pizza. It's the hot and the cold. Like, that's confusing. Right. No, thank you.
Yeah, pineapple is definitely best served cold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Pineapple because it's wet. Who want a soggy pizza? I mean, I get this.
You got the pineapple juice mixing in with the marinara. Like, who wants that?
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Wire Sports Podcast. We can't go on without saying, check out Free Mess on Fridays. If you thought that clip was good, check out Friday for episode 2. If you missed episode 1, we told you what to do. We told you to take Friday off, but listen, it's up there all day long, every day now. So go listen to it. Get ready for Friday to catch episode 2 with Sahe and friends. I need to learn all the different, because you got guests coming in and all kinds of stuff, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll just want people popping in. You know what I'm saying what they got to say. It's a mess over there. You got to listen to it.
It's a ton of fun. Go check out Free Mess on Fridays, and True Crime for the Innocent Mind also made the debut episode about Casey Anthony part 1. Part 2 is coming out on Saturday. Lots of big things. Let's get back to sports. Like I said, we are going to be a little bit short today because we're short staffed, and that's just how that works sometimes. So, guys, last Wednesday, Nick Saban, I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He's currently the coach at Alabama. Did I get that right? He's at Alabama now, right?
Yeah, he's Alabama.
He publicly stated that Jackson State used name, image, and likeness. From here on out, I'm going to say NIL. I just wanted to say it off the bat. It's name, image, and likeness to entice players to come to their school, which would be against NCAA sanctions, according to him in this rant. What he was essentially saying was that it's not regulated how the NILs are being spent. He said Jackson State, which is what's the abbreviation? HBCU, Historical Black College or University, right?
Yep.
He said Jackson State paid a guy $1 million. This is a quote. That was a really good Division I player to come to school. It was in the paper and they bragged about it. Nobody did anything. That was the quote. the most controversial portion of Nick Saban's quote. Head coach of Jackson State is one Deion Sanders, and he responded by saying, Coach Saban wasn't talking to me. Coach Saban wasn't talking to Jimbo Fisher. He was talking to his boosters. He was talking to his alumni. He was talking to his givers. He was trying to get money. That's what he was doing. He was just using us to get to where he was trying to go. First off, let me clarify that the statement wasn't necessarily accurate coming from Saban. It was reported by John Jacques Taylor of Anscape.com that $250,000 is in pending and future NIL payments for the player in question, which is Travis Hunter. Now, apparently, Coach Saban, since this happened and before our broadcast, he's apologized, I believe, publicly and privately. But he apparently tried to reach out privately to head coach Deion Sanders, and Sanders came out, I think, on Twitter and said something to the effect of, if you're going to talk about me publicly, I don't want to talk privately. Let's talk publicly. So a few things to unpack here. We got plenty to talk about. First off, do you guys think that Nick Saban was out of line with his statement, and what do you make of Deion's response? Whoever.
Yeah, Nick Saban was totally out of line. For number one, he hating on everybody else for getting players. And doing the things now legally that he was most likely probably doing illegally to get them players down there. Let's talk about, let's pull up the ledgers, Nick Saban, and see how you was getting all them number one draft class. And number two, he out of line because he dry snitching. Like, people talking about how you gonna use the NIL, what you gonna do. You don't need to drag other people and other schools into this. This ain't about them. It's about you. Well, if a kid wanted to go to your school, he gonna come to your school. Pay him the money. He hating. He dry snitching, and he's showing that he really don't want to give these players what they deserve. He should be happy for that kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Talking about they did this and ain't nobody do nothing about it. Like, what? Somebody did do something about it. They paid that guy and they got him in there. And they're going to treat the kid well. He should be happy for the whole situation. But he way out of line. You know what I'm saying? And this has put kind of a black eye on Nick Saban's legacy. Now, it's not going to last forever. This is going to blow over. Once he starts winning games, people aren't going to talk about this anymore. But it's just a bad look for right now. And the way Deion handled it, it's just pure class, right? He's like, yo, he's not going to trade, you know what I'm saying, being like a war of words. So he's not going to do that. He loves Nick Saban. That's his guy. They've been in commercials together. They've been seen publicly in interviews together, doing all this type of stuff. But he's saying that stuff for the media. I'm not going to talk to him privately. If he wants to talk, we're going to talk publicly. You know what I'm saying? Just making it a bigger story, getting some more press for his school. He's doing the right thing, showing class. I'm pretty sure they did talk privately. And Deion probably told him, like, yo, you got to chill the hell out, man. You can't be hating. You can't be dry snitching. Don't be doing that, man. And so I feel like Deion couldn't have handled it any better, and Nick Saban couldn't have handled it any worse. Like, it's a terrible look for you, big dog.
Trey, what do you think, man? There's a lot that he said in that speech, but this is specifically what caught the press's eye. We just talked about the press, but I mean, do you think he was out of line for what he said? And what do you make of Deion Sanders' initial response?
He was out of line, but he wasn't talking to the press. He was talking to boosters. But someone in his position should always know, if you're going to be in a public forum where everyone has cell phones, just treat everybody like they're the press. And it got out. He was out of pocket for speaking on another team. The Jimbo Fisher situation for Texas A&M, who's probably going to kick their butt this year, honestly. And the Deion Sanders. What irks me about the comments he made towards Deion Sanders is that it's a HBCU that you're hating on right now. And we just talked about race in the previous segment, but you get the 5-star, you get the pick of the litter in your 5-star recruits. You're getting recruits coming from California, Texas, all the major states. You're getting them. The fact that Deion Sanders used his reputation to get a 5-star recruit, that one recruit that slipped through the cracks and went to the HBCU, that's what you choose to bring up. And you're probably going to hit home because you're in Tuscaloosa talking to those boosters. And I'm not saying that they're one way or the other, but it just seems fishy to me. And you're right. Sahe was right. He's what are you hating on Prime for getting the 5-star recruit? He has a better chance. Now, he sent some DBs to the pros. We could list them up. We can list them out right now. But he's not Prime. The guy that he got is going to get the experience. He wants Prime to coach him to the next level, and he's going to get there probably. Like we just said, the gap between schools is closing. Heaven forbid that we have parity within college football. Why can't the HBCU get the 5-star recruit? Why can't we got a DB from Fayetteville State that just went in the 3rd round? Why can't the DB from Fayetteville State go in the 3rd round at the HBCU? You know what I mean? So I think he was wrong. I think he was out of pocket. I think he needs to stop pocket watching these other schools. He needs to pay attention to what he's got because his pockets run deeper than everybody else's anyway.
And that's a fact. I do want to bring that up. I'm going off course again. This is dangerous. I have another question written, I promise. I did my homework this week, but we're thinking about across the league, in baseball, in football, baseball, and basketball alike. You gotta imagine. Let's see, where did Tua went to college? Was that in Alabama?
Yes.
And his whole family moved from Hawaii to Alabama.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with an NIL. You mean that's an expensive move, and you got to have a decent dollar amount to get me to go move to Alabama to watch my brother play football if I live in Hawaii.
Right.
We're not even going to talk about. I think Colin brought it up a couple of days ago. I mean, they have that fund set up. I don't forgot what it's called, but they're talking about doing a fund for the kids there at Tuscaloosa for, I think, getting $35,000 or something a person or a player or something like that. It's been known for a fact, for years, that a lineman at Alabama is getting $250,000 under the table. I'm not saying it. I want to say it was Colin Cowherd maybe like 2 days ago that brought it in. He said going rate for a lineman at Tuscaloosa $250,000. What are we saying here? If he even if it was true that the player that came in and got named and got the NIL to get him $1 million, so what?
It is his name, it is his image, and he's there. All right, so not to crack this egg open any further, but and I'm not defending Nick Saban. I am speaking from a neutral ground again. Do you believe that there is something to the overall point of Saban's full rant, that there should be some sort of federal restrictions or jurisdiction or at least plan placed on these NIL payments in the NCAA? Will that clear things up?
Nope.
Both men shaking their heads.
Give them the money that they deserve. These players have been, especially from the past, these players are the lifeblood of this whole system. You know what I'm saying? They make so much money off the game of football. And football is really driving it for the other sports. People really love college football. There's so many times I talk sports with people and they'll be like, yeah, I don't really like the NFL. I like college more. Because people are like, they just vibe with that whole mentality of these guys. Well, it really was because these guys aren't getting paid, but they really not getting paid, but they're getting endorsements and stuff like that. They're putting the work in there. You know what I'm saying? They're putting their bodies, their health on the line. A lot of these guys go all out for their schools. And everybody that plays college football, especially Division I, has the hopes and dreams of making it to the league one day. And not all these guys are going to be able to do that. So it's good that these schools are able to pay a lot of these guys. And let's just be frank, a lot of these college football players, not all of them come from affluent Black backgrounds. They got families at home starving. They got babies, and they got this and that they have to take care of. Yeah, they're getting a college education for free, but that's not using. College football is something to get to that position. That's something that kid has worked his entire life for. You know what I'm saying? You have to little leagues, middle school, high school. You go to camps and do all this different stuff, and they need to be rewarded. Maybe not to the tune of multi-millions, but I feel like $1 million per year or something for a college kid is probably more than enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would have been well taken care of at $1 million a year when I was in college, but I didn't play football. Trey, what do you think, man? And I do want to clear up so that we could go back around to not just. I do have that question out there. Do you believe in Saban thinking that there needs to be federal restrictions? But also, do you think that there should be just some platform for the payment, like that? You know, across the league, this is the accepted NIL. Would that clear things up?
No. So to the first part of the question, absolutely, there needs to be no regulations on this. We're talking about billions of dollars that flow through the NCAA off the backs of mostly Black, underprivileged kids who work their ass off to do something at the next level and or go to college. It's the equivalent of, no, I'm not even going to do that. They are saying that the $30,000 a year plus, we'll say $50,000 a year that they get for their education, room and board they're supposed to be grateful for that when they're bringing in billions of dollars to these schools. Football and basketball in the NCAA pays for everything. If the football and basketball team is good, you get more students to sign up, you get more money. You got TV contracts. They're making billions off these TV contracts. Each, the Big 10, the Big 12, the SEC, they have their own networks. Texas has their own network. You have gambling, legal, everywhere. That's bringing in billions of dollars. So no, there should be no cap. They should get as much as if they can make $15 million, like one of these professional athletes, then they deserve $15 million because they're bringing in what? Hundreds of millions of dollars. And on top of that, the school's getting free money from the boosters. Some of these dowries for these schools, Ohio State, Alabama, Kansas, in the billions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. So no, there shouldn't be no regulation. He's mad because the Black player from the 5-star Black player decided to go to the pissant school that he wasn't, and he didn't get a part of that.
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm on to that.
I like it. I like it. Sahe, you got any other comments on this?
Man, I'm just a few years too late, man. God dang.
I think you can still cut it out there.
Shit, for like a play and a half.
A play and a half. All right, well, let's do something we haven't done in a long time. Let's pick up a headline because we are a little short on topics. And let's see. Oh, this is why I used to have you guys do pass or play on this. Deshaun Watson got a fully guaranteed contract. Who could be next? And will the NFL finally change? This is clickbait. Let's see. This is from ESPN.com. Could guaranteed NFL contracts become the norm? Why is it difficult? Why it's difficult? How Deshaun Watson got 200. I don't know how Deshaun Watson's $230 million deal adds momentum. What's next? What do you guys think? Do you think NFL guaranteed contracts should become a normal thing?
For certain positions, yeah. Quarterback after their rookie contract. I feel like running backs, their rookie deal should be fully guaranteed because they're usually not going to get, especially if they're like the top running back. Usually they don't get anything after that. But I feel like those two positions, mainly the quarterbacks though, it's going to be tough for any other position to be like, all right, everybody at this position, the standard is a fully guaranteed contract. I see that hard to believe, but quarterbacks for sure.
Trey, what do you think?
I think there's pros and cons, but I'm leaning towards yes on the fully guaranteed, just because of the nature of the game. I feel like football is the most dangerous sport out there outside of like your combat sports, where you have people that are 200 plus pounds running sub 4.4 and hitting you at full speed. That's just dangerous. And just looking at the perspective for the players and the well-being of their family, a lot of these players are taking care of entire names, families, from mom all the way down to their little third cousins. I think they should be fully guaranteed.
Yeah,
I think that's going to change the number. I think that the number, if we're fully guaranteeing, that's going to change the number that they get, though, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I used to have a coach, man, just speaking to Trey's point about football just being dangerous. I just always remember this. He said this to us before one game. He said, you guys, you better go out there and you better give it your all tonight out there on the field, all right? Because you can go out there and you can die. Or even worse, you may never be able to play football again. So
what? Hold up. He needs to get us priority shit.
Hold up.
My man's little
Coach, I'm here to sing the national anthem and then I'm going home. I don't know.
I just thought that was one of the funniest pregame speeches I ever heard.
Was it wrong?
Not being able to play is worse than death. You said
what was he saying, Harry Potter? She needs to sort out her priorities.
She needs to sort out her priorities. Oh, man. All right. Well, this has been a fun one. This is a little different than our usual, but I appreciate getting to talk about it. And folks, we do want to know what you think. Again, we do ask only that you be respectful. You can be on either side of the fence on anything we talked about today, and that conversation is welcomed. But derogatory terms, language, calling people out, stating anti-facts, things like that's the only stuff that we're going to take down. We don't need negativity. We can talk about big topics like big people because we are adults, and I'm a big person. So anybody got any final thoughts before we close it for the week?
Can't wait to hear that free mess.
Oh, yes.
Hey, come on down. Come on down. It's something. I don't know what it is. It's something.
He's a few episodes into production, so he literally doesn't remember what episode 2 is. No, episode 2 of Free Mess on Fridays comes out on Friday. Episode 2 of True Crime for the Innocent Mind, Casey Anthony Part 2 comes out on Saturday. New episodes of Acting Andrew and Justin, what's the show called? I'm on it. Andrew and Justin's acting breakdown on Sundays. And then, of course, you can catch the Wire Sports podcast every Wednesday, folks. Here at H2G Radio, we are growing on purpose. So if you are interested in getting involved in any way with podcast or radio production, if you're a college student and you're looking to pursue that as a career, give us a shout at justosbestlive@gmail.com. We have all kinds of positions. Now, granted, these are volunteer positions. There are ways to make money doing this, and you can totally do that with us. But we're looking for professionals who want to get involved, upcoming professionals who want to get involved with broadcasting. If you want to be a broadcaster, if you want to do music, if you want to help produce the shows, if you have cool graphics that you think that you could to distribute to the website or any of the shows, we welcome you to the H2G Radio family. Give us a shout. justosbestlive@gmail.com. I think I shouted out everything. All the links you need for right now are in the link tree below us. So until next week, stay classy and live, laugh, love like it's your last. And Richie's not here to hate on me. Oh, Richie, get better. Get better. Feel well.
Get better, Richie.
Please.
They don't want to be stuck with just me again. So, all right, you guys go home.